We're back with Keli'i Akina, President and CEO of Youth for Christ and Center for Tomorrow's Leaders. What's the results that you've seen from the past 4 classes, and how have the students been able to improve their leadership skills?
Well, in the Center for Tomorrow's Leaders, we have the wonderful opportunity to see where many of the graduates of the very first class are. And they are juniors and seniors in college all across the country, from the University of Southern California, if I go down to the southwest tip, to Yale University and the military academies up in the Northeast. These students are doing exceptionally well in college. Many of them write back and testify to how the Center for Tomorrow's Leaders equipped them to study better in school, to go into internships and other job opportunities. For example, many of them have served in government internships already. One day we had taken the group in to meet with Governor, and shortly after her election, the next day we got a phone call where she asked for 2 of the students by name and included them in her business with China and gave them an internship. Others have served in internships with the Lieutenant Governor, with other legislators and so forth, entertainment industry and businesses. And so I'd say on one level, we see immediate results, and that is that these students who go through the Center for Tomorrow's Leaders actually perform better in college and have access to internships. It's easy for them to call up one of the people they've met with, perhaps a high-powered business person who might be the CEO of a company, and you usually wouldn't call somebody who has 500 or 1,000 employees. You'd have to go through human relation. You'd have to go through the front door, but they can call and have a chat and have an entree. And so that's one level. We're waiting for the long-term measurement, though. We're waiting until these graduates are 10 years out of the program, 15 years out of the program. And so to get ready for that, this year we started the CTL Network. It's formally called the CTL Network of Alumni, Parents, and Friends. And it's really driven largely by the parents, as well as some of the participating leaders in the program. Just to keep alive a network, provide activities that the graduating students can come back to and build their own network when they're working here in Hawaii.
What were some of the challenges that you went through when you were putting this program together, and then how'd you overcome those?
Well, probably the first challenge would be financing the program. And we're grateful to several companies and individual donors and to the Youth for Christ organization for having underwritten the first few years' budget. That was just a wonderful thing, because now that we have many graduates and their parents have been involved and many of the community leaders are involved, the program is on a pathway toward becoming self-sustaining simply through the donations that come through the program. I'd say a second challenge is that we were starting a venture from scratch. And so we had to ask the question, how do we take advantage of the strengths that we already have as an organization and start something new? And probably one of the best strategies was taking our strengths and matching those strengths with people who could provide what we needed. And as it turned out, that happened to be exceptional young people. We had a way of getting in touch with and developing and training very exceptional young people. And there are members of our community, heads of corporations, entrepreneurs, government people, who have a real heart to pass on what they have. And so we connected the two. Pretty much what you do in a lot of ways through Greater Good Radio. It's almost as if it's a love affair in a sense that we have business people or government people come, meet these young people, teenagers, that redefines their definition of teenager, because very often they're afraid of teenagers or don't know what to expect. They're thoroughly impressed with these young people, especially their hearts and their minds. They open up and they begin mentoring them in many ways, or they begin an open relationship with them. So I think that second challenge of how do we start something new, really it was met by being able to take one of our strengths and match them to the strengths in the community. And I think that is a strength of our community. We have a lot of people who want to share, who want to help young people.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.